What is going on, everyone? Simplode here with Off Meta Bros, and today I decided to maybe showcase my updated alternate leader or alternate art leader collection through the EB02 format. I'm planning on doing maybe one of these every few sets, just because I think it would get kind of repetitive to do one every other set that comes out. But it's been a while since we've done one, or at least showcasing my personal collection. I've done an alternate art card collection, and I'm probably going to do another one of those while I get the cards I want through OP11. But let's get right into it. So for OP01, I really only have one card, and it's not the original art. This is the manga special edition Zoro, because let's be honest, at this point it's kind of a lost cause to get the original OP1 Zoro. As you guys know, the thing's crazy expensive right now. So I do just have the manga one, but I think it's still better than, of course, having just the base art. And at the time I did get it, it was before Zoro got kind of powerful again, so to speak, and so I got it for like 20 bucks, so it was just at least a must-have at the time. Moving into OP2, I do have three. I have Smoker, Garp, and Newgate, or Whitebeard. All these decks I have played. Something you're going to see, I don't have full collections of these because I really mainly focus on decks or leaders that I know that I will play at some point, or at least try to play. So I did pick these up for relatively cheap at the time. Also, I have like a philosophy where it's, if the card gets below like 30 bucks or so, I don't mind picking it up just to have it for the future. But moving on to OP3, I do have, of course, Arlong. As you guys know, I love Arlong, have many deck profiles on the channel already. Linlin, or Black Hill Linlin. And I just think, I'm sorry, but I think that OP3 has some of the best art for the alternate leaders. So that's why I have quite a few of them. Iceberg, never used it, but I picked it up at the time. I think it was like 15 bucks at the time, so I was like, why not just have it for the collection? Do have Katakuri. And a recent pickup is Ace here. I was at Collecticon Orlando, and I did get quite a few leaders for the cheap, for trade and for buying, of course. And I did pick up the Red Ace just because Ace is one of my favorite characters. All right, I do have only two for OP04. I have Purple Yellow Crocodile and then Blue Yellow Queen. Both decks a lot of fun to play, not very strong in these formats, so if anything, I'll probably make some for the off-meta matchup videos. Let's see, all right, OP5. I do have Sakazuki, RIP. Honestly, I didn't play him when at his height. I did pick him up when he was like 10 bucks after he got banned, because you never know, he could come back in the future, so why not pick it up with cheap? Bello Betty, another card that I got cheap before it got kind of big. Now she's kind of expensive because she has become somewhat meta in this format. And then, of course, my boy Enel. Still use him. He's gotten kind of good again with the new Enel that came out with EB02, but I think you can still get him for like 30 bucks at the timing of this video. All right, moving into OP6, I do have Perona, Hody Jones, Gecko Moria, and Yamato, the best one. She has gotten so expensive now with the hype of the new starter deck. Not to mention, just the older these sets get, the more expensive these cards are going to be. Right, moving into EB01, I did pick up Odin and Kyros at the time. Not to mention, just like, look how great the art is on EB01. I mean, these are some pretty nice alternate art for just cards in general. I think they really stepped up their game in this this set, and you can see that over the next few sets, that they kind of went to this kind of art style versus just the standard face on the front. All right, going into OP07, I do have Vegapunk, of course, Dragon, Rob Lucci, and Foxy. I was able to pick this up for like 10 bucks at Collecticon. But Lucci I did pull, and then Dragon and Vegapunk I did have to buy. Again, when OP07 came out, Vegapunk was super cheap as he really wasn't that good. So I think I picked him up for like 20 bucks, and then Dragon is a constant, kind of not that expensive. Maybe, I think at the time I picked it up for like 15, 20 bucks. So if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, not that bad for alternate art leaders. Now moving on to OP08, this is when kind of they started to print more, thankfully. So a lot of these leaders were super cheap at the time. So I do believe I have the full playset of OP08. I have Pudding, Calgara, Marco, Carrot, Tony Chopper, and King. Another one that I picked up at Collecticon for the cheap. I think probably the best one in this set. I do like Marco, but love Pudding. She's a great deck to use. I'm about to use her again in OP11 just to try her out with the new support. But Calgara's getting good again. But these are just nice and general. Kind of going back to what I was saying before, just the face on the front. Still pretty nice, but able to get them pretty cheap as OP8 was printed like crazy and not a lot of support in the set except for maybe Silver's Rayleigh. I do have Sanji from PRB1, the best pre-release card you can use, or deck you could use essentially, but it's a nice card to have. Nice. Didn't print much of him, so he's pretty expensive still, sorry. All right, same with OP9, they printed a lot, so I think I have the full play set. I got Shanks, Luffy, picked him up at Collecticon this past weekend. Unfortunately, he was a lot more expensive than he used to be with the new starter deck coming out, so that's kind of a bummer. Lim, Buggy, Teach, and Nico Rodman, my favorite. So gonna try to make her work. I'm telling you, she's like right there. She's right there from being a really, really good yellow deck. So I'm gonna try her again in OP11, see if I can make it work. Okay. Okay, going into OP10, I do have Trafalgar Law, Caesar Clown, Smoker, and Eustace Captain Kidd. I do also have a Atakai TCG version of Captain Kidd. It is one of his special serialized ones. I think it's very nice. I like to use it at locals, but they're both really clean here. But I do have the regular one instead. Trafalgar Law is about to get really good. I did pull him. I pulled both Kidd and also Law, so didn't have to pick those up. I did pick up an Usopp, but I gave it to Jaws, as you know, on the channel, so he has mine. But I might pick up Usopp again in the future if he goes down a little bit in price. All right, I don't have the EB02 Luffy. Let's be honest, I think it's like 400 bucks at the timing of this video, so not gonna even warrant it because I'm not even gonna play it anyway, so it's not worth it right now to pick up. But moving into the starters, I do have some of these that are just not in these snap cases, but I do have ST14 Luffy, got the Kid. This is that special one for pre-release. The Law that got banned. I got the green Captain Kidd, Zoro Zanji. This is the special sound loader NL that I got, and Kaido. And then going into some other starters, I do have all three of the alternate arts for the brothers. I'm just telling you, Ace is a very underrated deck right now. I think people should try to use it more. But yeah, these are very clean. I love the white background. I think it's a great idea for them to do. Hopefully they do more of it in the future. Same with ST21 Luffy. It's just so clean looking. Makes the other colors pop for sure. And the reason these are in snap cases is because I actually used to use these deck a lot. Uda, Green Uda, Monkey D. Luffy, the red purple. Never really played him, so I don't know why I put it in the snap case, but Doflamingo. I don't have the original. This is just the new starter one. Same with the purple Luffy. And then I did use her a lot. There's actually a video on my channel from OP08 or 9 deck profile, but I do have the ST7 Linlin. It's a fun deck to use. Pretty much uses the same cards as Katakuri. But yeah, worth checking out. And then last but not least, I did go to Bandai Fest Orlando. So I do have the special gold versions of these leaders. Start with the Luffy, Sabo, Ace, Crocodile, Captain Kidd, and the Kaido. I don't plan on opening this ever. Just going to keep it as a memento, but don't really need to use them. But it's cool to have. All right, well, that is it. I may put a picture here of all laid out, but unfortunately I have a lot, not enough room on the desk here. But like I said, I'm planning on doing these probably once every few sets, just to kind of showcase what I got and what I plan on getting in the future. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your favorite leader is and who you like to collect. And I'll see you guys real soon.